Guys, it's Jimmy here on the job again for this summer. Look, travelling home the other night, and unfortunately my lights didn't work when I turned them on. All I had was Parkers, but luckily I had high beams, so I was able to get it home. And I was looking at this bloody instruction manual in here. I've played with these things for a bit, and I couldn't work out which one was low beam and high beam, but here it is. High beam HDLP and low beam is down here. Okay, but on the night couldn't really see that. It was pitch black. What I could do was I only had high beam, so what I did was went inside here. See that orange lever there? I turned that clockwise about 8 times each side, and what that enabled me to do was get home safely using the high beam lights. So the high beam was then, because I'd turned it about 8 times, it made it a lot lower on the ground so it wouldn't shine in people's eyes coming my way, and nobody flashed their lights on the way home, so I knew it was pretty good. And I did check it up on a wall before I took off, so be careful when you're using your high beam that you re-anchor them to suit the purpose. And this was only a way just to get me home safely on the night. I didn't want to be stranded out in the bush, so it got me home. Anyway, I fixed the problem up today. I went through and checked the wiring diagram and just thought, well, it can't be anything major. Sometimes my son thinks things are pretty major when something goes wrong. He probably would have thought it was a bloody electromagnetic pulse hit the fucking car and took it out, but no, it's nothing major. Always check for the basic stuff, you know, earthing faults, fuses, relays. Typically they're the number one items to check off. So up the top here, right, you've got a circuit breaker that controls your low beam and high beam. And this one here, I've marked it here, is the high beam relay. So technically I could have just taken that and put it into low beam and the low beams would have worked, but I didn't know what that was on the night. So I basically just used the high beam, turned that knob down there, turned it round clockwise 8 times, made the lights drop closer to the ground so it wasn't going to bug people. And that got me home. So today what I did was I simply just took out this low beam relay, take out the green one beside it, change this guy over, 4-pinner, put another one in there, away she went, just worked straight away. So yeah, pretty easy guys. If you have a light problem, just try throwing another relay in there, make sure it's the right one. Now you're probably wondering what this jumper wire is. If you haven't seen my other videos, this jumper wire I put in to keep my car running a lot cooler in the summer. It turns the fans on. The high-speed fans come on at 74 degrees with this. So I'm using that pin there and that pin there on that side. So the right-hand side, basically, if you look at it from here, right and right, I'm jumping them together. That turns on the fans a lot sooner and keeps the car cool. It will throw a fault code in the ECU, but you won't see that on the dash. It's only when someone puts a scan tool on it they'll see it. It won't affect the running of the car. Anyway guys, that's it. You probably see what the silicon is on my front of my battery. Well, the battery was running a bit low in water. The little green dot you see in the top there, it had gone clear. There was nothing right there. It was clear. So I got a syringe, filled her up with some water, squirt about 50 ml each one, and went green again. Did a CCA check on it, the battery tester. All good as gold, so I just capped that off with a bit of silicone on there so the water doesn't come out, or the acid, and it's great. It's been there for about a month now. Alright guys, so I hope that helps. If you've got a problem late at night and your lights go out, just try some basic stuff. Don't expect the worst, just try some basic stuff and you might get home. Alright, Jimmy's out, have a Merry Christmas.